What up, though? Welcome to Woman Crush Every Day, where we discuss queer media, especially when it's black and especially when it's woman. I'm your host, Tang B, aka Sean B. Scribe.
And I'm your host, Allison, aka Al Woo.
And today we are going to talk about A League of Their Own.
Ooh, but before we do that,
nice.
Subscribe.
Where's
the subscribe at? Okay, I was like, wait a second, no, we must have been going real fast. Whatever happened, doesn't matter. Y'all know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Get those notifications. So as we drop videos, because, they're not always, whatever, but you can make them consistent with your life when you get the notification.
And you've been waiting on somebody to talk about A League of Their Own.
Period.
With. So,
oh, baby.
You want to know. You want to know when we're talking about it.
Let's go.
Bam. So, let's get into it. A League of Their Own is a series on
Amazon Prime.
Sorry, down with Amazon, but this is a great show. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is right now.
This was like, I don't know how much it was written. I should have paid more attention to this. But I know that Abby Jacobson from
Broad City.
Oh my God, I'm so mad I drew a blank right there. Yeah. But I love Broad City. There were a lot of things I loved about Broad City.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see her in this, producing this, making this happen.
Yeah.
Was just really, really cool. So I'm glad. Shout out her. But
yeah,
we're not here to talk about Abby Jacobson. We're here to talk about Max.
We're definitely here to talk about Max. So just for a little bit of context, this series is a remake of a movie that came out in 1992 and had Rosie O'Donnell in it. It's kind of like gay icon film from the early 90s. I haven't watched it in a long time. I don't really remember much about it except, watching it as a kid. This version of it is way doper, and we're going to get into all the reasons why, but we're not really going to be referencing the original film. So if we're here for that, skip ahead and stay with us because we're going to talk about Max.
Period.
Because,
all right.
Boom.
Oh, because what?
We talk about black, queer women.
There you go. I knew that.
And other people too. But at first,
let's go.
Yes.
All right. So, favorite part of A League of Their Own.
Oh,
the whole series, all 8 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
You had to
There's
choose.
So many favorite parts, but I'm going to narrow it down to 2. So the first one is, I'm going to go with the first one is when Uncle Bert has to come and talk to Max's mom. And Max's mom has really just been like, look, I see that you not gonna get a husband. I'm just trying to give you this business. I'm just trying to make sure you got work. You have something to sustain yourself with. Really well-intentioned, but also kind of denying everything that Max wants. And Uncle Bert pretty much comes to tell her, like, if you do this, you will drive her away and she will never come back. The way that you drew me away, what you said to just sacrifice part of yourself is really dangerous. And I just love that Uncle Bert came to give Max's mom that wisdom. I love that he gave her that wisdom in spite of her denying who he was, really at the first chance, like, come in the house and I don't care if you dress like a man, like really just denouncing who he was. And I like that Uncle Bert still was just like, you know what, but I'm here to make sure you and Max are good. And that was just so much love. So that was one of my favorite scenes. But then the other favorite scene was when Uncle Bert and, what's her name? The wife.
Gracie,
thank you. When Uncle Bert and Gracie throw this beautiful queer party and it's all these black queer people in there, all different walks of life. And I was just thinking about, you hear about the raids on these black parties that would happen with queer black people, trans black people, lesbian black women, and there would be these police raids on their parties, and that's how you kind of got news that these parties were happening. And I love that this transforms that memory, because I think when I've heard those stories, I just think about like all of these queer black women and black people running out And that's the image. And I know, like, the part of me that wants to know, like, but what happened at the party? And this scene gives you what happened at the party, the joy, the safety. And we were talking about this earlier, and I just wanted to say, like, something you said about how it's the reason why you would risk going to that party is for the times that it doesn't get rated, and how it is the safest place. And it was just so beautiful to see. It brought me so much joy. It brought the character of Max so much joy. And you could see the safety of Uncle Bert and Gracie and their relationship and their love, and how they shared their space in that way, and why they needed to have this private space away from everybody. It just was like so many layers to it. Y'all did a great job.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think this version, and I honestly don't remember original League of Their Own. If I did see it in my life, it is gone now. But the way they told the story that's happening for white folk and light-skinned folk, and the way, like, how life was really happening for Black people.
Yeah.
And the way those stories were woven together, and their struggles paralleled, and then also just, like, different, very much so. I think that shit was fire.
Yeah.
Shout out. Because in the original version, there were no Black people. Like, and it was also really Tom Hanks centric.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we get it. He's famous, wah, wah, wah. But, like, I love this spin on the story.
Yeah. And it didn't get too gay. Even though it's like this iconic gay story.
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like gay.
This is so gay. This is like, I'm going to have to get in that in Queer Canon. But
yeah.
Super duper gay. But talking about that party made me think about paralleling that with Rosie O'Donnell as Vi and the club owner.
Yeah.
It's like you have these masculine presenting folks who are like the people who hold these spaces, who honestly are risking so much. They, because like they're the person who's like, okay, you gay, out. Like we gay, but like they gay, like they gay. So, it sucks to see like Uncle Bertie and Gracie having to do that just in their home, and then you see Vi with the fucking club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that if America was different, if the world was different, that like Uncle Bertie would have been that person. You know what I'm saying? Is that person, but would also have, and I'm not saying that I think that you have to have money in order to have a banging ass party. I know Uncle Bertie's party was better. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
Or what their bag was, too. I mean, clearly a different bag, but also, like, the safety of the privacy. Even the safety of the privacy from their own community who knew them, but then also the safety and security from whiteness, and like how little is that party gonna get shut down versus Vi.
Yeah, actually,
sometimes it's just better to just be underground.
That's real spill. It is underground faux show. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for bringing that up. But I think, I wanted to say my favorite scene though was actually when Max goes to what is Aunt Bertie's house when she first gets there. Yeah. And that was just a great scene to me, because we finally find out why Aunt Bertie is on the outskirts,
Yeah.
And it's not just that Bertie is gay, but it's like Bertie looks like a man, you know what I mean? And they grew up in this town, you know what I mean? So it's like there are all these levels of like, oh, and they were like the what were they, like the royal family of the black family of Rockford or something? Like, they had a history there in that town. So it really kind of set the tone for why this was such a big deal.
Yeah.
That Birdie looks like how he looks, you know. So, but I loved that scene. Oh, and also when Max opens the door, she is greeted by Gracie, who is a person who works with her at the factory. So she's like, wait a second, I must be at the wrong house. There's no way you're at my Aunt Birdie's house.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, they fucking.
Yeah. This is Uncle Bert.
Bam! Wow.
You don't even know whose house you really at.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I just thought that was such a flip of that story. Super fun.
Yeah. All right. Who is your woman crush?
Well, leading into that, Gracie was actually my woman crush out of this whole thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to shout out Shantae Adams, Max, Detroit's own.
Yes.
Shout out her, whoop-de-whoop. But I really have to give my woman crush in this to Max. I mean, not Max, I'm sorry. Gracie. Yeah.
All right.
How about you? What's your woman crush?
I'm going to give it to Max. I mean, I have to give it to Max. Yes, like you said, shout out Detroit, shout out Cast Tech, shout out, Shantae Adams, first of all, been doing phenomenally. Yeah, congratulations, for Skeleton Crew, and being able to take on that role, and then this was great. I had a great time. I like Max's character because actually at first I didn't like Max's character because she comes off as an asshole, but I also love how she's never going to let herself have to prostrate to whiteness, and for that she has to be an asshole. She can't say thank you. She can't let you know that what you did gave her that moment, because you didn't do it. She twisted the situation to her favor. She's great at figuring out how to rearrange the puzzle to get to the next spot. And I just think that persistence, all I kept hearing was and yet she persisted. And she did. She just fucking kept going every time. And it was unfair because I was just I do not want this show to be about how there's an obstacle at Max for Max at every turn. But at some point, when she realized me letting their opinion of me is giving me this tick that I can't now follow my dream. And once she realized I have to address that, I have to address how I'm feeling about that. I have to go hang out with Uncle Bert. I have to go explore this life. I have to go figure out what that's about. I have to go try to fuck this dude. I have to go do these things to try to figure out what I really want and who I really am. Then I was just this fullness came out of her, and I was just you are just love. You are just love. You are just out here trying to love yourself and be yourself, and it makes you so lovable. So yeah, Max is definitely my woman crush.
I hear that, and I want to echo all of those reasons. I feel like I didn't give
Gracie
any real
too.
reasons on Gracie. I feel like it sounded real physical, and I don't want to leave it there. So
go ahead, give
let me
Gracie
go
her
a little
due.
bit deeper. I think one, in that moment where Gracie opens the door, I feel like we're presented with a bunch of levels about who Gracie is in a way that, she's significantly older than Max, and playing it cool at the factory. You know what I'm saying? Just always been cool, always knew something about Max.
Yeah.
And never did all of that, never spilled the beans, just kept her poise. And I think that was super dope. And those moments where we see Max and Gracie talking about Birdie, or just being, when they're having a good time, Gracie's whole energy is just girl, live your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take a chance, make it work for you. Live. You know what I'm saying? Just because we are who we are and we love who we love doesn't mean we can't live full, beautiful lives.
Exactly. Yes.
And she said all that and she represented all that. And I think it's also really dope that, yeah, she wasn't I think it was interesting to see how she still passed with Birdie.
Yeah.
Too. And I'm just like, wow, those are some really interesting risks, deep risks.
Yeah, because it could be, the retaliation could come on either one of them.
Yeah. So that is why Gracie is my woman crush.
Praise Gracie.
Not just because she thick as hell.
I mean, but she is, though. It's not a problem at all. It's only a blessing.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. What can stay? What can go?
I think what can stay is this show. I need a season 2. Oh my gosh. I need to see what happens with Esther and Max. I am deeply invested.
Yes.
I'm not even going to go too deep into that. Because I feel like that's the number one thing. So many pieces of this show I'm just like here for. So as opposed to me like listing out all of the things that I'm here for, yeah. I'm just going to say, give me more. Boom. The show can stay. What can go? I want to go just jump right into the Max and Gary lovemaking scene. I mean, I guess it's a part of
her figuring
a rite of passage. And I mean, all that good stuff. But yeah. I think in real life, knowing how that has to happen in real life, or not even has to because it doesn't have to happen.
You don't have to try.
Yeah. Just the frequency and commonality of that act.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sleeping with dudes in order to like, am I gay? It's like,
I feel like that's what the society is telling people. Like, did you even try?
Yeah, so like, you have to give a good earnest try.
Want to fuck him? Isn't that like part of it? Like wanting to do that?
Yeah. I feel like, it just felt like this weird, I hated the awkwardness of the whole thing and just like, I'm not even going to say what it felt like. It just felt weird. I didn't like it.
It was such a disappointment. And he was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that he at least had laid it down, like gave it a good try, and
it was
then she could have still been like, I mean, no, I was just fucking this woman and it was way better. Like,
yeah.
Or my heart is more there, like, something else, but it was just like, oh, he came with, zero.
Yeah, he didn't have no, to me.
Yeah.
They really played him like a simp. There you
go. Yeah.
All right.
Weak as his pitch.
Weak pitch, you know what I mean? Like everything about Gary, we didn't have to do that.
No,
we didn't even have to roll them dice. Bad. She could have kissed him, you know what I mean? She didn't have to like sleep with him.
I mean, does that even count?
I don't know. I feel like when she kissed him, she was the same time that she slept with him. Like,
yeah.
She didn't even like do one day and then do the other one the next day.
Yeah. All she gave him before was a dance. She was like, I'll dance with you. That's it. And only in front of my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can stay, what can go?
Everything can stay. Everything can stay. I want it all to stay. What can go is the world at the time of this story.
Speak.
That's what can go. And any of the ways that's continuing to manifest right now, because Brittany Griner still is not free. And
Speak.
I just want the world to treat women athletes like they're the talented Olympic winning world champions that they fucking are. And that's why I love this show, because it's actually putting some respect on their motherfucking names. I'm not a woman athlete. I'm not an athlete at all, but I'm a happy spectator when women take the field or the court. And I just love this. So the world can fuck off and A League of Their Own can stay.
There we go.
Where's this kind of queer canon?
So, oh man, I think that this show was just exceptionally well done when I think about queer canon and the touch points across different little categories. Like, I think, it being this like period piece, this being a lens into what's happening in Black queer culture in a way that's not like, because I feel like we've seen, you know, if I think about like a Bessie or something, like, okay, it's cool to go back in that way, but to do this about somebody who's not famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really take it to just like,
she's not
regular
Ma Rainey.
folks. Yeah. These aren't these old black celebrities who could get away with stuff. These are regular folks, and you got to see just the depths of their lives and experience. I mean, I know it can
in
go
ways they
deeper.
like became celebrity, but
but
not everybody.
That wasn't it. That wasn't the point. And just seeing not famous people tell real stories that you can relate to, that you feel, that you know are so many other people's stories.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
All the feels. I agree. And just to add to that, like, I love that this is a story that is not about, you know, you said this actually when we first started, maybe midway through watching it, or maybe we were towards the end at that point, but you were like, this isn't a story about Max integrating the white baseball team. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was hoping was not going to be this. I mean, I wanted Max to play ball however she could play ball, but I'm so glad that that's not what this turned into. And I'm also glad because I didn't want her to be like the black exceptionalism. She's not the only black pitcher. She's not the only black woman pitcher that we see. Yes. She is just a good ass pitcher. Yes. And she doesn't come in and save them. They don't come, like the white team doesn't come in and save her. There's a friendship that happens just between Shaw, who is the coach for the white team, and Max, but they really keep their lives separate outside of that. They just give each other like genuine friendship. It's actually really, really nice without having to, in ways they help each other. Yeah. But in ways they also threaten each other in ways. But it doesn't stop their friendship. It doesn't become volatile. So I love that Max has her own story and that we really meet like her family, her town, her best friend, the people who love her, the people who want to take care of her. She is so central in a way that the characters on the white team really have to share a lot of space. And it's like, no, this series is really about Max, and y'all are providing like background. So what about for you? I'm gonna check this out.
No, I think I went through mine. So okay. Yeah, my queer canon was all of that stuff.
Oh, that's right. Everything that was beautifully said.
Yeah. You totally forgot about that, you know, and that's okay. That's
because the battery sign came up. I got so distracted.
It's all good. Well, yeah, before this computer dies, thanks for watching. Yeah. Please check out A League of Their Own on Amazon Prime. Please. We really, really enjoyed it. We need a season 2, y'all. Let's make that happen. Yes. Let's do what we got to do to make that happen.
Because there's so much more to say.
Really, really it is. All right. Well, until next time and before this computer dies.
Peace.
Peace.